Hi scrapbookers, this is Michelle at michellesizemore.com with one L in my first name for my website link. I'm a creative memories advisor, and today you'll learn how to make these pages using the Garland banner border punch from Creative Memories. I also use the 12-inch trimmer. I'm going to show you three different varieties of the same technique or the same basic layout. This is one I made with the red paint cardstock, and I shadowed behind it some blue cardstock. I used our white small letters, and this paper is from Perfectly Patriotic, and this is red cardstock. And that's a collection called Perfectly Patriotic. And this is the same layout basically, but I just changed the colors a little bit. This one is a designer paper from Perfectly Patriotic. This is a light blue cardstock. Same idea, just reverse the colors and use a designer paper here that was a little deeper red instead of the cardstock, and just kind of layered them a little bit differently. And lastly, this one is where I punched out different designer papers from Perfectly Patriotic and cut them apart, and then I mounted them on top of like a regular blue cardstock to give it more of a shabby look, that multicolored look. And then I covered the top with this sticker strip, and then this bottom is basically like this one but reversed, and I just made it a little bigger. So let's I'm gonna demo this one right here first, and then I'll just show you a few things about the other two because the techniques are very, very much the same. Okay, this is how I store my collections once I've opened them. So we have these Power Project folders, which are so great. You can put lots of big pieces of paper in here. I could put several different paper packs in here, but in here I really only have the stuff I'm going to use to teach this layout, and plus a few extras. And then right here is a pocket. Like, I've got all these extra pieces of banners. I could put those here. You could put like embellishments and die cuts, stickers here that are smaller. You have these two pockets where you could put things like this as well, or die cuts or matte packs. And then on the back you have these two vertical pockets, which are great for sticker strips and paper strips, and you can just fill these things full. If you'll notice, like, the side kind of comes squished down like this in the beginning, but as you fill it, it opens up and the fold comes out, so you can really put a lot in there. This is how I store all of my collections after I open them, to keep everything together. Sometimes I'll take a collection and where at the top it shows you the cardstocks that match, I'll go ahead and gather those cardstocks and put in here, so I'll have everything together in one bundle. And I also store my paper scraps in these. These are great for like your strips of paper and your rectangles and circles of paper, your long strips of paper, and then the bigger pieces go in here. I love these things. So these are wonderful. Okay, well, let's start with this, and I'm going to grab a red and a blue cardstock out of here. And here is I think that's the red that I used, and this right here is the designer paper that I used for the bottom. And this is the blue cardstock that's behind the red. And then this strip right here is this paper. So I want to make sure I use up my scraps first before I start. Yeah, which right here, I would use this scrap instead of this full sheet. So I'm going to take that out. And here's, yeah, that's good. And let me check out these strips right here to make sure. Yeah, oh, there's some strips of blue. Okay, good. Always use your scraps first. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. And then here, I use these star stickers. Let me find those on these sticker strips. This strip has one of the stars was right here, one of them was here. I think I've used them up, but they came off of this it's a mouthful, Perfectly Patriotic kit. Okay, and then these are white mini letters that we sell. All right, well, let's get to it. It really is an easy layout to make. First things first, I'm going to punch out a row of red Garland banner, you know, the design. So put your cardstock inside this opening. Start at this black line right here. That's very important. So I'm going to line it up at that black line and punch, holding it in place really firm with my hand. Bring it down and cover up that blue design on there with what you just punched out. That's very important. Make sure it's very straight right here against this edge, and punch. And do that all the way down. And scoop out your scraps after every 2 or 3 punches, because otherwise they get stuck up in there. Okay, and I'm going to do this whole thing. And I think that should be the last one. So now I have my row of red. I think this is super cute. And I see right here where I probably like slipped a little when I punched. So I would take my scissors and just shape that up a little bit so that I would round that off a little bit. I think that's the only mistake I see on here, but that's so easy to fix. I didn't do the best job. There we go. That's good. All right, so otherwise I think that looks like a perfect punch out. And then I would do it again with the blue. Now I think I already have a blue one punched out, so let me check here. I'll be right back. Yeah, I do. I already punched a blue one. Wow, and I made a couple mistakes on that, so I am definitely going to clean that up. I must have been doing that late at night or in a hurry. It's going to be covered up anyway, so it doesn't really matter that it's messed up. Yeah, I usually don't have to fix it this much. Okay, here we go. And then I want to cut off that shaggy end at the end. And then this will go underneath, and the red will go on top. And we're going to use this paper. So I'm going to grab my silicone mat. These are awesome. If you want to learn about these, send me an email. You can find my email address on my website link, which I said at the beginning of the video. And because these are things I can order for you, but they're not on the website. They come in a set of 3. You have this one, which is good for borders. This is good for like small embellishments and cards. And this is a full-sized one for, you know, big, long borders and things. And they come in a set. Okay, so I'm going to grab my repositionable tape runner, and I'm going to put it behind on the back of this red. Just put a little dab on each flag and on each little, just little dabs all over to kind of cover each piece, but you don't need to like completely cover the back of it. Just little dabs, and use it sparingly so you can get a lot of use out of this tape runner. This, I'm just using this one because it shows up better with the colors. Now what I want to do is create a little bit of a shadow effect. So you see this blue poking out of the side. So I'm just going to move it over just a tad when I put it on top so that you'll get that shadow look. So here we go. And it really is just a very small little move because I just want a little bit of that navy blue peeking out. Gives it some definition. Makes it just look more interesting. And I'm just moving the flags as I go. They're very pliable. And then sticking them down. Yeah, and there we go. So I kind of want to crop that off because it looks kind of funny, I think. I don't love that. So I'm going to crop these just a little where I just have less of that blue showing. Now I'm really good with that. So now I will mount this on top of here. So I'm just going to put my repositionable tape runner on the back here. And the wonderful thing about these mats is when I use this repositionable tape runner, it only sticks to the paper, and the excess that would normally come off on your table or on a piece of cardstock, whatever's behind it, it doesn't come off on this mat. It repels it, so it stays here, and it just makes things so much neater and nicer. So I love those mats, and I love our repositionable tape runner. Okay, so I want this to go almost to the top. Now I also want to clean, I don't like this little piece right here, so I'm going to cut that off. Okay, I'm good now. So I want to mount this down to where it looks like it's kind of hanging off the top. So where these little round pieces go almost all the way to the top. Okay. And that is so super easy. So that is that. And then I'm going to cut this. And I think that's 1/4 of an inch on that decorative piece, but I'm not sure. It's closer to a half, well, the blue piece. The red piece, yeah. So the designer piece is about a half, let's just do a 1/2 inch. I'm gonna look here on my trimmer. I'll use this paper a lot. I really love like the pops of red in there. I think it's pretty. So let's cut a 1/4 of an inch piece and just see how skinny that is, and then do a 1/2 inch, and then you can we can decide which one we want to use. Sometimes I want a skinnier one, and sometimes I like a fatter one. So I think I like this one. That was a 1/2 inch. But see, you could do an even skinnier one with a 1/4 of an inch. And the smaller your strips are, the more photos you can get on your page. So, yeah, that's what I did. And then I'm going to cut a piece of red at about 3/4 of an inch. Right here, I'm going to line it up with the 3/4 inch mark on my trimmer and make sure it follows that line all the way down. And I think that's going to be perfect. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to grab my mat back. These are silicone mats, by the way. That's why the adhesive doesn't stick. I'm going to put some dabs all along this strip and place this on here so that red pokes out the top and the bottom. This is such an easy way just to add a little pop of color to the bottom of your page. And then we're going to do this, and I'm going to mount this at the bottom. And so really that is all the cutting you really have to do. And then what I would do is I would just add my stickers. And I forgot to get these white sticker letters out, but we have regular sized sticker letters in white. We have several different fonts. I don't remember the name of this font, but it is the mini ones, the smaller ones, because they fit better on these little banners. And I used the all lowercase letters because the uppercase letters were just a little bit too big in my opinion. And I did have to cut the tails off of like the Y and I mean the L and the Y, I think, and the top off the J, because they were just a little bit too big. And then I just went in and put some of the stickers that I got off of here. Again, I've already used them all, but they came from here. So what I like to do is when you have a word, keep the word together with all the letters, put a designer sticker in the middle to give your space, so it's not just a blank flag, to separate your letters. Okay, so that's how I did that one. Super easy. And then this just shows you the photos. You could mat your photos. If you want to look at what size photos I used, I wrote it on there. And then I just cut a little piece of ruled paper here to journal in. What I do is I just look at how much space is there, and I'll take my ruler and I'll say, you know, I need about 2 3/4 by about 5 inches to fill that space. And that's why I love the ruled paper. You can make it fit any space, even a little space or a big space, whatever you need. But it does come in full-size sheets in a pack of maybe 10, I can't remember, but you can get a pack of white right now, and I really love it. Okay, and so for this one, I use the same technique up here, except I reverse the colors and use the different color stars. And I did do the bottom just a tad different, and basically I cut this this strip to 1/4 of an inch, and the red that's behind it I cut to more like half. Well, I probably cut it a little over 1/2 inch because I needed a little bit for it to mount to. You could have even done it for almost 3/4 of an inch to get, because it's on the bottom and this blue is on the top. So just a slightly different, you know, pattern down here, and this is using the blue cardstock. This is using the designer paper, and again I used a little piece of ruled paper just because that's where I had a space. If you didn't want a journal here, you could just add like a little row of stickers, or you could take like your border maker system, like with some stars or something, and just put a little row of stars, but I chose to journal there. And then for this one, I basically cut my banners out in these 3 colors. It's this plaid, and let me get to my, here we go. And this red, and then this blue. And I just plaid, red, blue, plaid, red, blue. I alternated like that, just using 3 colors. And then I took this sticker strip of stars. I have used a lot of these. And when you pull this off, it's really great because the way it's cut is very pliable. So sometimes if I was going to take a row and try to bend it and stuff, I would cut little slits so that makes it more bendable. I didn't have to do that at all with this. And I would just put it down and kind of bend it to make it go with the flow of the top of that Garland border punch, which was here. So I mounted, I cut a row of blue out of cardstock. That's underneath all these pieces, so that's my row. So it had, you know, the top that goes with it. I did cut the little balls off from the top so that they don't stick above the stars. And then I mounted the little pieces on top and gave them a little bit of a shadow, and then put the star stickers on top there. So that's just 3 different ways to do the same page, just making a few changes. So I'll give you one more look at all these before I end the video. And I really do love this punch. It's great for 4th of July. It's great for birthdays. It's great for everything. It's great for team sports. You know, you could say go Warriors at, you know, a football game, or go Vols, or happy birthday. So you could change it up and make it with whatever papers and colors you want to do. Make it anything. Happy Halloween, happy Merry Christmas, all of that. All right, well, thank y'all so much for watching my video. I hope you like that. I love that border punch. I think it's one of the most versatile ones we have, and it is currently available on my website, and my website link will be posted in the comments below the video. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.